Welcome to the Sacred Success Summit, where you access the secrets to sacred success and become even more of the goddess you've always known you were. Your host for this session is Candace McKim. Candace is a #1 international best-selling author, TEDx speaker, and renowned intuitive manifestation coach, known for her vibrant approach to helping purpose-driven women manifest more income and impact sustainably. Co-creator of this summit, Candace is eager to introduce another inspirational guest. Take it away, Candace.
Welcome, everybody. I am super excited about this next interview. I have River Easter here, and I think I interviewed you before, didn't I, River?
Was it? No, I think it was Ranchelle.
Okay, well, I've watched your interviews before, so I am super excited about this interview. And let me just introduce you properly. So River's going to be talking about stop feeling guilty, set boundaries for less chaos. Oh, hell yes. We can all relate to that. River Easter has over 20 years of global experience in helping others make positive changes with a master's in organizational development, numerous coaching certifications, and a certificate from MIT in neuroscience for business leaders. She's more than qualified. River's programs use the latest research in performance science, positive psychology, cognitive behavior theory, and neuroscience to rewire the brain for peak performance and happiness. She believes everyone has the power to create the life they love. Wow, that's impressive. I'm super excited to hear more. So River, say hi and tell us all about how you've been guided on this path. I mean, it looks like you've been guided for a long, like you said, 20 years.
Well, I don't even, I was thinking about that 20 years and I was like thinking about how long it's actually been. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to actually say that. When we think, oh, I've been graduated from, college for this many years, then you're like, I'm not going to go there. But what I am going to say is that if you describe my life, I did this one exercise with this spiritual eco community called Here. And what came up for me about my life is the river of transformation. And why do you do transformation? What sets you on the path? Because you fail, right? Things don't work out. So I think that one of my, what motivates us is the pain that we get into. We're just like, oh my God, how do I get out of this? I didn't, years ago, I was dealing with my ex-husband, and somebody came to me, a friend, he was actually a boyfriend kind of at the time. And he's like, well, maybe it could be you, the common denominator. There was a speaker that I listened to that was saying, I was the common denominator in all of my relationships that were screwed up. And I had to, at first I was like, how dare you say that to me? Get out of my life. I didn't ever want to see him again. I was like going to kick him out because they said something. I was just like, it was so hard to hear, right? That
the first person that said that to me was my mother.
Oh.
And I was a teenager complaining about my group of friends or whatever. And she said, drama. And she pointed that out to me. Well, the common denominator between all of this going on is you. And I thought it was a little harsh myself, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was hard. That sort of set me on this. Well, actually, I got set early on, but this really helped me to get into coaching, get into okay, it's the paradigms that are in my head. They're actually saboteurs that are there, and they're sabotaging your progress.
Right.
And how do I, so I just kept getting more and more information trying to figure out what do I do so that I can live to my full potential, so that I can be happy, that I can do what matters most in my life. And I studied many different things. I did nonviolent communication for years and years, and emotional intelligence, and blah, 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 and ended up getting into a master's in organization development, which is all about transformation
Okay.
of organizations, but
Okay.
really transformation starts from within.
Mm.
And then who you are being. One of the things that I loved about the program that I was in is that it was about use of self is your greatest instrument for change.
Oh, say that again. Say that again.
Use of self is your greatest instrument for change. So in other words, who you are being is your greatest instrument for change.
Mm.
And then also, I really believe that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, that we are all connected, and that this is all rippling out into all the different complex systems that we're part of.
Mm.
You know,
I
so
agree.
yeah, so you don't have to go out and be president to make significant changes in the world. You have to be true and aligned with your unique and essential self. And that's I ended up when I was in organization development, my company I called Ripple Effect Consulting,
Hmm.
because it's you're the change. You can make really small changes for far-reaching results.
Yeah, that's huge. And that's such an important thing, because so many of us feel like we're not, you know, my vote doesn't matter, or I'm not making a difference in the world. And you're so right. Like, even when my kids were little, I remember, um, I would meditate. Like, I've always meditated since I was 12 years old, but I would meditate. And the reason I would meditate is at that time is because I brought a calm energy to my children. And then they had that calm energy and they took it to school with them. And instead of them going into chaos. And it came back to us where a lot of their friends have reached out later and said, yeah, that you had, like, my child had a big impact on them and calming them down and helping them at school.
Right. And
Mhm.
introduce them to
Yeah.
the whole idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. All right. Let's get diving into your 3 shifts that you're going to share with everybody.
Okay. So these are, I took, of course, this is a wide subject, boundaries.
Yeah.
But I wanted to take the most common ones that I have helped my clients through, or
Okay.
that they come to me with. And
Okay.
so one of the common ones that they'll say is that, well, I don't I don't want to inconvenience them. I didn't want to upset anyone.
Mm.
Can you relate to that one?
Yeah, everybody can relate to that. I'm sure of it.
I don't want to inconvenience or upset anybody by imposing my needs and wants on them,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's really what you're saying. Or there's all these negative connotations that go along with it. I don't want to be the complainer. I don't want to be your pain in the ass or the squeaky wheel, or,
Squeaky wheel.
oh,
Yeah.
for us in my family culture, right? That when you get your operating system as your family, it's like
Yeah.
we were a family of 5. My mom was totally overwhelmed. You just basically you get what you get and don't have a fit, or we're going to make your life worse.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I mean, that was
Yeah.
what I was raised in. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and so what the message that you get is somehow your needs don't really matter,
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
right?
You get what you get. And how many of us heard that? I heard that a lot. I didn't hear the second part, but I heard, you get what you get. And you're right. That is that's telling me that, yeah, my need, that what I want doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so many people were raised around your needs really don't matter. And it's what they call the theory in use. Like you may be heard that your needs matter, but really the theory in use is that that people are operating this way.
Yeah. Sherry said, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. I heard that one too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I
Yeah.
just want to say that this, it's like this misconception it is that setting boundaries is somehow an aggressive or a selfish act.
Yeah.
And actually I believe totally the opposite of that.
No, I do
And
too.
it's taken me a while, okay, to really understand how incredibly powerful setting boundaries are as a sign of respect for
Yeah.
ourselves and for
Yeah.
others.
Yeah. Yeah.
They create really clear expectations, they prevent misunderstandings that actually can lead to resentment and disappointment.
That's what I was going to say is clear as kind. Clear as kind, you
Clear
know?
is so
So
kind.
it creates clarity. It lets people know where you stand, what they can expect, what's happening, and they don't get their hopes up or, yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
So good.
And you can just think about just like even a simple example of going to a dinner party and your guest, you're staying too long. You don't know if you should go or if if the guest, a friend of mine actually went to a dinner party and their guest said, we go to bed, or their host said, we go to bed at 10 o'clock. So we don't,
Okay.
it was so great, just like that really simple thing. It was polite. So
Yeah.
so you're not staying later than you think that you should. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so crystal clear. That's just like a
Yeah.
really simple example, but I thought,
Yeah. No, but you're right. It's very clear. Very, very clear. Okay. Let's share your second one.
oh, okay, this is a really, I don't know if you've heard that. Well, it just was easier because blah, 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 whatever it was. It's just easier to say yes than to, you know,
And to say no.
they say no, to take the path of least resistance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is such a false assumption that we have.
Yeah.
Somehow that the path of least resistance, this sort of short-term solution, has long-term consequences
hmm
that we don't even know of.
Yeah. Because it makes you, well, it puts you into resentment, right?
Yeah,
If you're always saying yes, then you get mad because you say yes, or you get mad at the person that they're asking, but really it's you that said yes.
and a lot of times we have the saboteur that's the pleaser, right?
Yeah.
That's saying yes, I'm gonna be liked. That was for me. Oh, they're gonna like me more.
Mm,
And you're going to gain some kind of acceptance, or you're going to get ahead. Women think that they're going to get ahead by being nice. That's a total confidence killer.
right.
There's a book that a woman published about you're not going to get the corner office by being nice.
Oh,
An
that,
executive coach. I was like, that is so great. You're not going
yeah.
to get ahead by being nice, even though as women, there's men out there too, but I'm just saying that all the research shows that women are groomed to be nice and
Yes.
compliant. So we're kind of going against our learning, what we've
Yeah.
learned.
Yeah.
And it just has such long-term, consequences because I remember when I used to say yes all the time, I didn't have my no down. I did not know my no.
Right. Oh, it
Like
sounds like you had to practice your no.
I
Did
had
you
to
have,
practice my no. And I'm going to give you a really good tip. What I started to do was I started to become aware of what that saboteur was telling me. Because generally
Mm.
what it does, that all of our saboteurs, what they say is that somehow it's going to be easier this way. They make a promise when in reality it's not.
Yeah.
They may win the battle, but they're going to totally lose the war
Yeah. Yeah.
on this one. And
Yeah.
so you lose, like when I was doing it, I was like, I lost track of myself and what my needs were. And you're basically letting somebody else sort of run your life. And then you're like, well, where am I? You know, I was so busy like trying to get liked and meeting everybody else's needs that I lost sight of me, and I lost sight of my goals, my visions for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up, coming to this point where I was like, wait a second, I got to stop this, because
Yeah.
I
Because you're
have
giving your power away, is what I hear
ex-
you saying, right? Like
totally,
you're saying yes all the time and you're giving your power to somebody else, which puts us into resentment, which puts us into blaming them. Like then if our life doesn't go right, like why do we do that? Because we can blame them because, oh, our life isn't going right, it's your fault,
yeah.
right? Instead of, it's your fault because you're making all the decisions or
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh no. I mean, it's so much easier to basically blame others,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's why change has to come from within. We have to accept responsibility rather than, oh, I'm such a victim to my blah, whatever it is, my husband, my kids, my job.
yeah.
You really, it's like a personal power. So this is what I did. I started to really sort of unwind and say, this is not the belief that's going on in my head. The thing that
Mhm.
it's saying is not true. That's the
Mm,
first thing I had to do, become aware.
right.
Then the next thing that I did is I gave myself the gift of the pause. It's
Mm,
basically, don't let that knee-jerk reaction, because in our neural pathways, we train ourselves to respond to things in different way, in certain ways. It's just
mm.
think about it. You're a computer, your brain's a computer, and you've just basically touched this button, and now this whole thing is happening, and you're not even aware of it. One of
Right. How many of us have done that? Oh shit. Damn, I didn't mean the thing moved too quick. I was pushing the other button.
I mean, what I really like this one neuroscience that I follow. He called it your emotional reactionary loops. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's perfect.
I
Perfect.
I really, really like this, the gift of the pause. And that's one of the gifts really from texting, right? When people ask you something through text, then you can have a pause
Yeah.
more than if they ask you face to face, right?
Yeah.
But I love the gift of the pause. That's so brilliant.
Yeah,
So
so you give, and if you're talking face to face with somebody and they've asked you, because that's usually what people do, they'll corner you because you're the busy person, you get shit done, and they
yeah,
come to you, right? And
yeah,
you'll say, oh, wow, thank you so much for asking me to do that. That sounds like really great, but I need to go and check with my husband. That's when it's really good to blame it on your husband. I need to go check it, with my husband, or I need to go check with my calendar because I had something else here. I don't care if you're lying about it. I really don't. It's like you need to give yourself the gift of the pause
the
so
pause.
that you are not in your fight or flight and the emotional reaction. You got to
Yeah.
step away. Step
Yeah.
away, and this gives
Definitely.
you the thing. And at first, and the really great thing about neuroscience is, all right, awesome, Sherry, but is that visualization. So say, for example, you have something in your past that you remember that you did that you wish that you wouldn't have done. And well, what you do is you take that experience and you replay it in your mind the way that you want, the way
Mm,
that you wish that you would have done. And
okay.
instead of using that visualization of the cringeworthy moment, don't do that. Do the visualization of how you
How
wish
you
that,
want it to go.
yeah,
Or would
how
have
I
liked.
desire my
Right.
desired outcome.
Mm,
And
is this your third? Is this
Oh,
your
okay,
third one?
so no, so my third, yeah, we got to move on. So,
Sorry, I thought it was part of your third one. 'cause
okay,
that's
yeah,
good stuff.
okay, that was a tip. So the third one is probably some of you are just by having this conversation, you're feeling a little guilty, right? Like, oh, I don't know if I can say no because it feels so selfish to prioritize my needs first. Right? Is anybody feeling that way? Oh,
Yes.
it's a little scary when there might be one person, like it could be your daughter, it could be your
Sister. For me,
boss.
it's my sister.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's probably
It's my
one person
sister.
and like, oh no, I always say yes to them. I can't say no.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that that is so far from the truth.
Mm.
Again, it is so far for the truth because what's the truth for you is the truth for everybody. So
Yeah.
you really got to get that. What's the truth for you is the truth for everybody. And you ought to, especially for people who are caregivers, caregivers, like we're in that generation right now, right?
Mhm.
And like we think, oh, I'm giving, giving, giving.
Mhm.
And I am not getting, I'm not
Right.
giving myself the care that I need. Oh, I'm working all the time and I'm not exercising. It really comes up for self-care around
Yeah.
clients for me.
Yeah. Amazing. So this was so powerful. So, so powerful, River. So tell everybody your gift. What's your free gift that you're giving everybody? And
Oh,
then
okay.
I think Sherry will just drop it and then
Oh, good. I'm so glad we have Sherry.
the
Sherry.
ultimate guide for boundary setting. What's the ultimate guide for boundary setting?
The ultimate guide for boundary
Ooh, that's
settings.
pretty.
Is it beautiful? Well, the
Mhm.
ultimate guide for boundary setting is where I sort of take you a step-by-step through how to set a boundary. And I give you
Oh,
lots of examples because it's like 12 pages. I give you lots of examples about types of boundaries, like physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, intellectual boundaries, financial boundaries. And
that's so
then
good.
I give, like examples of permeable, like they're not so great, and more of a healthy boundary. And then you have an actual worksheet that you go through and I give you an example of, an example of how I work through the worksheet, and then and then you get the worksheet that you can fill out. So
Amazing, amazing.
yeah,
And
and
then your VIP gift is kickstart your confidence.
okay, yeah. So a lot of women that I work with, and I mainly work with women that are, 40 plus, and that their confidence is something that they would really like to have more of. And they're
Yeah, it kind of goes hand to hand and hand in hand, right?
it,
Boundaries and confidence, or
it, it,
confidence and boundaries. I don't know which came first, but
Yeah, no, it really, really does. And so in this, in my gift, my VIP gift is
yeah,
that you have a confidence course. It's like Kickstart Your Confidence. I have 3 really great bonuses. And one of them is where you get to do an assessment to figure out what your saboteurs are. And this is based on, scientifically based on over 500,000 people doing a factor analysis.
wow.
And I'm actually when you download my gift, when you download my free gift, I also give you the link to that.
Okay.
So anyway, that is, I give you confidence, go over confidence boosters, I go over confidence killers, tips, and then also you fill out a confidence plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you have
I read somewhere that we're not born with confidence. It's something that we have to create.
it is a skill to develop.
Yeah, or skill to develop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Um,
definitely, and it's a verb. It's a verb,
okay. I
you
love
know?
that. Okay, last words of wisdom.
Oh, okay. My
Before the
last
music cuts us off.
yeah, like if I did it, you could do it too. That's one of the things. And just like you matter, your dreams matter, and your dreams will change the world. Mwah.
Mwah, love it. Thank you so much, River. Amazing, amazing talk.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session on the Sacred Success Summit. For more information or to apply to be a speaker at one of our upcoming events, email our team at breakthrough@clarityconfidenceconnection.com. Now, tune in to another transformational speaker.